Number 11 on the SLO review is a linear programming problem where you're given a couple of different variables and constraints on those variables, and you're asked to write a system of inequalities that could represent the situation that you have going on. So if you read through what you have for number 11, you have a potter who's making cups and plates. So when you read through it, it's asking you to find, it tells you that she makes $2 profit on each cup and $1.50 profit on each plate. So those are your two variables. You don't know how many of each of those things she's going to make. So those are your two variables. So cups and plates. And really you could use any variable you want. Since we have cups and plates, I'm going to go ahead and use C and P, but you can easily use X and Y or whatever you like. And then if you read through the problem, there's a couple different restraints or a couple different limitations that they have with making the cups and the plates. First, we have time. And when you read through it, it says that it takes her 8 minutes to make a cup and 4 minutes to make a plate. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 8 with the cups and 4 for a plate. And it says that she has 20 hours available each day to make those. So you have to be careful. Here, time is talking about minutes, for how many minutes it takes her to make a plate and a cup. So let's see here, make a limits. These are your constraints. Okay, 20 hours. But 20 hours, if you take and multiply it by 60 to figure out how many minutes that would be, you'd have 1,200 minutes. So these are all time in minutes. Okay. And then if you read through it, it also talks about how much clay she has to make each one. It says that for each cup, she uses 3/4 of a pound. Let's see here, this is clay. She uses 3/4 of a pound of clay for each cup, and then she uses 1 pound of clay for each plate, and she has 150 pounds of clay to use. So the equations that you're going to write from that, so 8 minutes for every cup, plus 4 minutes for every plate. If you take both of the times that she has to make for both of those and you add them together, they cannot exceed 1,200, because that's how much time she has in the day to do that. Do the same thing for how much clay, 3/4 of a cup of clay, plus, not cup, 3/4 of a pound of clay plus 1 pound for the plates, and she only has 150 pounds that she can use. And then the two that are kind of unspoken, the number of plates and cups can't be negative. You can't make a negative amount of something. So both of them are set greater than or equal to 0. So those are your system of equations. And if I asked you to graph them, you'd solve for one of the variables and graph it from there. But the last thing the question asks you to do is to write a function to show how the profit could be determined. And this is where you look at how much money she's making off of each one. So a function of how many cups she makes and how many plates she makes. She's going to make $2 on every cup. So 2 times every C plus $1.50 times every P. So that's her profit function. And that's all I gotta do for that one.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.